The Running Man is now in cinemas, starring Glenn Powell, directed by Edgar Wright. It is the second adaptation of the Stephen King novel. This is The Chaser, a bonus special episode of The Binge where we're deviating from our normal franchise methods. This is a special episode where we can take a look at a different section of cinema and delve into it. So with The Running Man now in theaters, that is actually the fourth adaptation of a Stephen King story to come out this year. So we're paying tribute to the man himself, Stephen King. We're going to talk about the 4 new movies, and then we're going to delve into his entire filmography of adaptations, which there are a lot, and we are going to rank the top 10 best Stephen King adaptations. I'm your host, Joshua Ryan. With me, as always, Timbo Jones. What's up?
What's going on, Josh? What's up? Happy to be here, baby. Let's fucking do this.
And with us today, special guest, we have Alan French coming to us with a plethora, I'm sure, of Stephen King knowledge. Alan, what's going on?
I hope. Doing pretty good. I'm very excited because, King rules. So, yeah.
We've all three of us have seen the new 4 movies. So we're going to start off kind of talking about just the new movies and what we think of them, because this is kind of a rarity where not only did we get 4 adaptations in 1 year, which is kind of rare, but they're all solid. These are 4 good adaptations, especially in the library of his adaptations, which has some absolute garbage. But we're going to delve into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to start with The Running Man. We all just got out of a screening last night. We all saw this movie together. Alan, let's start with you. What were your thoughts on The Running Man?
So I think what I love about The Running Man is that it is so action first. There are so many cool set pieces. There's a big scene on a plane that's really awesome. There's the hallway scene that I think a lot of people have already seen in the trailer that is even cooler in the context of the movie. There's just a lot of big action set pieces, and Edgar Wright rules at doing those. Except for Edgar Wright, I actually feel like this is a little bit of a step down, which is a little frustrating because
I'd agree.
He's such a good director of action. I mean, Scott Pilgrim, Hot Fuzz, Baby Driver, he really does just show up all the time and deliver A-plus work in the genre. And that's almost why I'm a little disappointed. Now, that being said, Glenn Powell is so entertaining that it's impossible to not smile and laugh and have fun with this movie.
I don't know if you noticed last night, I was wearing a Glenn Powell t-shirt. It just says Glenn Powell, and it had like 8 different
I did see that. And that's because he's awesome. Because he's one of our best movie stars, if not our biggest movie star right now, frankly.
I would definitely agree. Tim, what did you think last night? You looked bright-eyed, puppy dog, looking at the screen, looking with hard eyes at Glenn Powell. What'd you think of the movie?
I was having hard eyes at Glenn Powell. You're having sleepy eyes there, Josh. Yeah, no, it was a fun movie. I was entertained the whole time through. It had me locked in, ready to roll. I think I agree with Alan it didn't feel very Edgar Wright movie. Like where you watch Superman, you're like, oh, that's a James Gunn movie. James Gunn's fingerprint is all over that. Where this, if you didn't tell me it was Edgar Wright, I probably wouldn't have guessed it. But like you said, the action was fun. Glenn Powell was hilarious at times, and then very sentimental at times as well, especially when he had the quote-unquote hostage and was kind of explaining everything going on without jumping too much into spoiler territory.
Glenn Powell
I think he
is
just commands the screen.
Charismatic.
And it's,
you see his
I think
butt.
I was going to say, for the ladies, that's literally what I was about to go into. For the ladies, or, whatever, for anybody who enjoys a good muscular man, bum. He bears it almost all. So, and for a while, too, hanging off the side of the building.
Yeah.
It was, Josh was ready for it.
I liked it.
It was neat. Josh and the neat. Neat.
But no, I agree. I think I had fun with this movie. When I left and I've thought about it for like a day, I think I like it a little bit more than I did when I left the theaters. It was a good movie. It's a certain expectation comes, I think, from Edgar Wright. We've talked about this because his filmography is just pretty much all bangers. He doesn't really have a bad movie that I've seen. He just has some movies that aren't as good as the rest. And I think this is one of those movies that's not as good as the rest. Like you talked about Baby Driver. I love Baby Driver. That is a great movie. The cast, not problematic at all. Just, no problems there.
No.
It's just a good movie. And talking about this not having his fingerprint as much, that's definitely true, and I think that actually is a little bit true for Last Night in Soho, the one that came before. I also think it's a great movie, but it felt less Edgar Wright than his earlier quirky, more satire type of movies.
Well, and
not a bad thing.
And I would say that one though has the visual element that I think this one is missing. Where that one is like sharp, it's edited to like the millisecond because the music plays such a big deal in that movie as well.
Right.
Like not as big as it does in Baby Driver, but not far from it. Where I don't know if the music even matters in this one, which is almost like the weirdest thing about it, is that I can't think of a single needle drop. Like
this should have been like one of the best soundtracks of the year. And
Yeah.
it just didn't really give us any of that because that is like James Gunn. That's what they're both known for. They're both known for bringing in perfect music for the perfect moment. A lot of music maybe that you haven't heard or you haven't heard in a while, stuff that's not used as often that just really sets the tone. And we didn't really have a ton of that in this. We're coming at it with a lot of negatives. I like this movie. It's a good movie.
I was gonna say it's still a lot of fun. You get a bunch of moments with a bunch of small actors that just get to show up and have like a ball for 5-10 minutes. Michael Cera comes to mind. Josh Brolin is excellent as the villain. Coleman Domingo brings so much energy in his scenes. Like
Coleman Domingo was fantastic.
He was perfect. Perfect.
Oh god, he was so perfect.
I even I keep forgetting her name, but the other runner,
Katie O'Brien. She's on fire of late. Yeah,
Love Lies Bleeding. Love Lies Bleeding. She was in that. She was fantastic.
Yeah,
and
I think she's in Mandalorian. I think she's in like the most recent season of Mandalorian. It might be. I know she's one of them for sure. She's definitely been in Star Wars.
Yeah, she's in Star Wars. That's one of the first time I really recognized her. I wasn't sure. That's what I was trying to tell Josh. In her other stuff, she's always like brooding or such the villain that like she plays it so well that I was like, oh man, I hate her. But in this, I enjoyed her so much. She was so much fun in this movie. I was like, oh shit, she's having a great time.
She was a little like smarmy. She was like a little smarmy, a little like sly. But she didn't come across like. She wasn't like closed off and like just tough and don't talk to me like she is in a lot of things. She was just kind of like having fun, winking, having a good time.
She was great.
So we didn't say up front what the other 3 movies that came out this year. The other 3 Stephen King movies are The Monkey, The Long Walk, and The Life of Chuck. Let's talk The Long Walk because I just rewatched it like 30 minutes ago before sitting down. I saw this one in theaters, The Long Walk. Just watched it for a second time. Tim, let's let you take the lead. I know you watched this one today as well.
Yes. First time listener, long time caller. Wait, that's not how that goes. I watched it today. Got done a few hours ago. It was really good. Once again, I think I might have said it before. It's one of those like really good depressing movies. Like it's definitely sad and it definitely makes you think about life and friendship and what does this all mean. And it's also just like heart wrenching at times. But I really enjoyed it. It's just when I want to go rewatch it again, I don't know if I'm gonna have a good time rewatching it again.
It's not a feel-good movie by any means.
No.
It's one of those that you hear the story. Now, I haven't read this story, but when you hear that the plot is just this group of, I forget how many kids there are, what, 30-something kids maybe?
50. It's one for every state.
50.
Yeah.
And they have to walk for as long as they can, and if you stop, you get shot until there is only one person left. So when you hear that the whole movie, because literally the whole movie is them walking, minus, the 5-minute setup in the beginning, you wonder how could they make that riveting? And it's really just a strong script with good dialogue. Yeah. That's really the majority of the movie, and I think it's really well done. Alan, what do you think of this one?
Well, I think The Long Walk absolutely rules. I was very skeptical when I heard people saying like this is one of the better movies of the year, which I think it is in that conversation of the top like 20 or 30 movies of the year. I think that Francis Lawrence, who also is the guy who directed The Hunger Games, brings that to the movie in sense of making us care about all the random kids that are going on, creating really good vibes between them. But also, he does a great job at just like establishing the stakes. J.T. Molnar, who did Strange Darling last year, is the guy who wrote it. And it's just like, early on, you get if you slow down, you get your first warning, then you get the second warning, then you get the third warning.
Right.
And so every time you hear a warning go off, it like makes you jump. It makes you wonder who's in trouble now. And because you get so much buy-in on so many different types of characters, I think it really does just rule. And David Johnson is incredible. He is so good in this movie. After being so good in Alien Romulus last year, after being so good on Industry a couple years ago, I mean, this dude is incredible. Like, he's truly one of our brightest stars right now.
And I think people are definitely taking notice of him. People already took notice in Alien Romulus, and then this movie, he was really the main buzz. People were like, he's fantastic in it. And then the other actor, Ray, I didn't realize this when I saw it, is Cooper Hoffman, the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's who is the lead.
Yep.
And once you know it, you can see it. He looks like his father. But this movie was adapted from a 1979 novel that Stephen King had written under the name Richard Bachman. He had this, pseudonym that he would use. Running Man was also written under the Richard Bachman title. Good movie. In the original novel, they had to walk at a pace of 4 miles per hour. In the movie, it's 3 miles per hour. And apparently Stephen King himself requested the change because as time went on, he realized for as long as they walk, because it's a long time, that 4 miles an hour is not super believable and not super realistic. So they dropped it down to 3 miles an hour, which is still a pretty brisk pace. Now, I got curious. So I looked up the world record for walking without stopping. The longest continuous walk lasted 6 days, 10 hours, and 58 minutes and covered 418 miles. I think in the movie they end up going like 325 miles or something.
Yeah, they go at least 300 for sure.
In the record, this guy's not walking and shitting himself like they have to do in the movie. He got like 2-minute breaks every few hours to do his business. So not as dire. He doesn't get squirt diarrhea like we have to see in this movie. There's some graphic things in this movie. They tell you that, and you're thinking it's the violence and it's the brains. You see somebody diarrhea all over the place. That's not pleasant. My wife was caught off guard. I warned her, and she was still caught off guard. All right. Let's now move on to The Monkey. This is a fun one. This is from Osgood Perkins, who is the son of Anthony Perkins, who famously is the titular Psycho. This one is adapted from a 1980 short story. This one I did read. I read this short story before going into the movie. It stars Theo James in dual roles. He plays twins. It is just a really dark comedy about a monkey a wind-up monkey doll, a real creepy-looking one. And when it goes off, if you wind it up, it plays the drums. In the novel, he clanks, cymbals together.
Yeah,
but apparently the reason they couldn't do it was because of Toy Story. This is what I need to do more research. That when Toy Story had the monkey character, that they got like a copyright on it cinematically. So they couldn't use a monkey with clanking cymbals as a character. They had to change it to the drums. But I think the drums work. The drums build a little bit of tension.
I think the drums work. I definitely remember the monkey from Toy Story 3 because it's the one in the daycare that's like watching over them. Yes. And I actually find that to be like a pretty funny metaphor for this because I've heard both Stephen King and Osgood Perkins refer to the monkey as like a god that is just watching over these people and like killing them. And yeah, I agree with you. This is just like a pure fun, ridiculous movie in the same vein as something like Final Destination. Like I think that's the direction that people should be looking at when they watch this movie. Come for the extremely bloody kills. There's one about like a third of the way through the movie where a woman jumps into a pool and just explodes.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that is incredible.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Tim, you're not a horror guy. Tim doesn't like gore.
No, I'm not. I'm not a big horror guy. This is why. Okay, so for everyone, this is why most of these Stephen King movies, if they're horror, I probably haven't seen them because I'm not a huge horror fan. I was as a kid growing up. I don't know what happened. I think when I got older, I realized death is inevitable, and I frightened. I got scared.
It certainly isn't
makes sense.
Yeah, right. But so watching this, obviously going into it, I was like, okay, there's gonna be some deaths and whatever. It's a horror, whatever. It's gonna be fine. I realized that I'm not super into the over-the-top gruesome deaths, even though I know this was like a dark comedy and stuff. To me, it just like pulls me out, especially when what's her name? The aunt gets the whole face full of fire, and she's still like screaming and running around, and then gets her face into the for sale sign or whatever.
The kills are not realistic. Like they're silly. This is a very silly movie.
Silly. Yeah.
And I think some people are going to struggle with that tone of this is incredibly violent, but it's also just so cartoonish and silly, but it also is very dark. You know, it is a weird tone. That type of tone normally works for me really well. I like this movie. It didn't work for me, over the top. This is probably my least favorite of the 4 new Stephen King adaptations of the year. But Longlegs, which Osgood Perkins did last year, was in my top 3 favorite of the year. I absolutely love the movie. So maybe my expectations were too high, but I've rewatched this one twice as well. I saw this one in theaters, and then I rewatched it again at home. It's on, I think, Peacock or Paramount or something. And
Peacock.
I enjoyed it. Good movie, but I don't know. It didn't blow me away.
The weird,
I like
the
it.
weird thing
I think
for
it's
me,
reasonable.
the weird thing for me, I don't know why I got so stuck on it. When they were like, it's 1999, being someone who lived through 1999, I was looking at everything going like, this doesn't
Oh,
feel
yeah, you
like
kept griping.
1999.
It wasn't 1999 enough.
I did kept griping about that. I was like, I told Josh, I was like, yo, this feels like Stephen King wrote what he thought 1999 kids were doing, but I was like, there wasn't a single computer, no one's watching like TV. Like the only thing that they had was the one dude came in with like a Guy Fieri flaming the flaming button down. I was like,
I
yeah,
forgot about
those
that.
were around. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, I was like, where's TRL? Where's all that stuff? So that was the one thing I was just like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be in the 90s. Let me see the 90s, Josh.
It's especially reasonable considering how many movies use that as like a crutch to just like,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna overload you with nostalgia. For this movie to have none of that at all is like
No.
jarring in its own way. It's almost like how It Follows feels timeless and also doesn't make sense at any time.
Oh yeah, that's a
You know
weird
what I
one
mean?
trying to figure out
Yeah.
when to.
So
But
yeah, I see what you
what do
mean,
you think?
especially if you make a deal of 1999, right?
Yeah, because they want to like have him be old enough in our present day to be our age, and so he's got to be a certain age back then. And I was like, okay, it's cool, but like, it still feels like an 80s childhood. It doesn't feel like a 90s childhood. So that
Yeah.
was.
But the
That
kid,
was my
the
gripe.
brother, kept doing the thing where he acts like he's going to give you his hand and then pulls it away and slicks it through his hair. That feels very 99.
I feel like I feel like that's early. That's like early 90s, because you're leaving the 80s with that one. But he's still doing that when he's an adult. I'm like, you didn't fucking grow up at all.
He didn't grow up.
To be fair though, he's wearing the same clothes. Like he's wearing like the same
Yeah, it's
outfit
true.
later when
He's
he's an
kinda
adult.
weirdo.
He truly never grew up. I find the dual role to be particularly effective. I think Theo James is extremely talented. So to see him play
Yes,
two polar opposite characters was a lot of fun. I think he's really found his lane as a comedic actor, which I did not expect because he was so period piece heavy early in his career. So now that he's like really hitting comedy between this and The Gentleman, I think that he's found a cool lane.
He's got such
Yeah.
a cool voice too. Like during that
Yes.
voiceover, I was like, oh, I can keep
Yes.
listening to you talk.
And he's
Keep
so
talking,
handsome.
man. Well, I couldn't tell if he was handsome. I just liked his voice. He's got a handsome voice.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, Josh. It's definitely not the best one of the year, but it's probably like the one that I will rewatch the most out of pure like enjoyment because
Right.
it is like no stakes. I could throw this movie on whether it's like 2:00 in the morning or like 10 a.m. and still have a good time with it. So
True. Very good. All right, let's talk about the fourth one. The last one of the year is The Life of Chuck. This one comes from Mike Flanagan, who has done, this is, I think, his third Stephen King adaptation. This one is based on a 2020 novella of the same name, so it's much more recent story than the previous. There's no real one star to this, I would say. I think, the advertising portrays it as this is Tom Hiddleston, which he is a star, but it also has Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, Mark Hamill, who we didn't say. Mark Hamill is awesome in
Yes.
The Long Walk.
The Long
as
Walk,
the villain.
yeah.
So Mark Hamill is coming at us in 2 Stephen King adaptations this year. Jacob Tremblay. It's a great cast. I went into this mostly blind, and even if you watch a trailer for it, you're going in blind. I did watch a trailer before I watched it. I had no idea what the plot was. I didn't really delve into what the plot was going to be. So when it opened, I'm not going to spoil it. It's one I really recommend watching. This is my favorite of the Stephen Kings of the year, and it is told in different parts and sections. In the first part, when you're watching it, I just had no idea what was going on, but I was fully invested in the story. And then when you
Yes.
get to the end, which you kind of come to the realization maybe about halfway through what's going on, and then by the end when it comes full circle, I just thought it was great. I loved this movie. What did you guys think? Let's start with Alan. What did you think?
Oh, I think The Life of Chuck rules. I think Mike Flanagan has found a way to interpret King better than almost anyone alive, in the sense that he just knows how to tap into pure earnestness in a way that very few directors can. And I know why that rubs people the wrong way, but for me, that is like directly in my pleasure center in the types of movies that I love. It feels like an 80s movie or 90s movie, but also is like so bombastic. It has these huge moments. Like the dance sequence
Right.
in particular is going to be the one that people talk about for years. But
Yeah,
I
love
mean,
that moment.
even the entire first third of the movie is so, like you said, it feels so disconnected from everything until you get the whole picture. And when you get the whole picture, it's like, I understand everything now. And it is so impactful in that way. And so, because it's Flanagan, because he's used to these big multi-part stories, he's building it up piece by piece, but in reverse order, which almost makes it seem like it shouldn't work. But you look at like movies like Memento, where this does work. That's kind of how I see Life of Chuck. It's obviously not as violent as that movie. This is far more like Forrest Gump meets Memento. But, you know, this is a very fun and heartfelt movie that if you just like go with it, I think if you accept it for what it's trying to be, it can really resonate deeply with people.
Now, I will say, my wife, I showed her the trailer, and I was like, hey, I'm about to watch this. You want to watch it? She saw the trailer, and she went, no, I'm good. And I was like, come on. And she does a thing. I try and push her to watch a movie she doesn't want to watch a lot, and she's like, I'll give it 20 minutes. That's her rule. 20 minutes hit, and she said bye, and she left. It did not click for her. Mm-hmm. So, not going to be for everybody. Timbo, what'd you think?
What did your wife think of Long Walk?
You know, she just watched it with me, and I didn't ask her, but I mean, she was fully invested. Like, she wasn't on her phone. She was sitting there watching it the whole time.
Well, that's good.
Seemed like she liked it.
Well, that's good. Yeah. If you're not on your phone, man, that's a huge fucking deal these days. It's another one of those, to me, it's another one of those beautifully depressing movies at times, which isn't a turnoff at all, and I don't want people thinking that's a turnoff. It's just, it hits on some heavy shit. But it did it so well. Obviously, with the kind of, we kind of talked about it a little bit out of order in the beginning. Well, it's shot, you know, like you said, like Memento. So you're trying to figure out what's going on in that first, the Act 3, I guess, technically. But it, like you said, there's so much going on. Matthew Lillard is in this, which was out of left field, and I actually love that he had this like little moment in there, and they were talking about, there's so much stuff going on in the beginning. You're like, what is happening? But I can't look away. Like, I am in it to win it with this movie. And it's just a beautiful story. Once again, you said Mark Hamill's in it. He plays the dad, or the grandpa, sorry. And he's amazing in it, and what he teaches, and the little moments that you get in the first act, which is technically the third act, and then you see it later, the exact same line said again. I thought was brilliant. I thought, well, you know, it was so much fun. You're like, oh, that's where you learned this, and that's where you learned that.
I don't want to delve into the story because this is a movie. This is a movie good to go into blind. But
Did I say too much? Did I say too much?
No, you're good.
You're good.
I just want to say that the opening with Chiwetel Ejiofor and Karen Gillan, they have like a story together. I just fucking loved that. They had me right there. They were both so good, and their story was so good. Perfect.
So good. I definitely thought, I told Josh this, I was like, I thought it was going to be this one way, and then it completely went a different opposite direction.
Zagged on you. You tried to zig it, and it zagged.
Zagged.
And then you also bring up, like, you know, you have, like, the Matthew Lillards pop in for one scene and just absolutely kill it for one scene. You have Nick Offerman doing narration over the course of the whole movie, but you never see him physically.
Another great voice.
You see a handful of people from all of his different shows pop up. Carl Lumley pops up from Dr. Sleep. But, like, he just is able to call on these actors to jump in for one or two scenes and just elevates the entire movie. Even Heather Langenkamp pops up for one scene. Which she doesn't act anymore. So for her to pop in to do this, it says something about Flanagan as a director and the buy-in that he gets from actors.
Yeah, the guy who plays the mortuary undertaker.
Yeah, it's Carl Lumley.
Yeah, dude, he was so good. Even when he was walking, and you first see him walking, they have their little conversation, and then later you see him again. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah, you see,
and a lot of people will know him from Marvel nowadays.
Yeah,
Marvel. Original Captain America. That's who we're talking about. If you guys don't know him by name,
I don't remember these.
Okay, all four of these movies, I think, are not going to make it in. But I think you could make an argument for all four of these movies to be in the top 10. I think there's at least a case to be argued on behalf of all four of these movies. Will any of them get in? Who knows? I'm going to fight for The Life of Chuck. I'll tell you that much. So. We have, I think, 51 movies that we're going to go through. So we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about every Stephen King adaptation. The rules for this, as we narrow it down to our top 10, and then we will rank them, it has to be a feature film, which means his TV stuff, his limited series, that sort of things, the original It, which was, 2-part series thing, those don't go in. We're not doing it. We're also not going to count movies like Creepshow or The Cat's Eyes, which were anthologies, and only one or two of the stories were Stephen King adaptations. We need the whole movie, feature film, to be an adaptation of Stephen King's story. That being said, let's get started. Let's talk about this. So, his work has been adapted by just some of the best filmmakers of all time. You have like Brian De Palma, Stanley Kubrick, Rob Reiner, and then some absolute like horror icons have jumped in. You have George A. Romero, John Carpenter, David Cronenberg. Do you guys know what Stephen King's Dollar Babies is? Have you heard of this?
I actually don't know.
So Stephen King, he had a deal that he would grant any student filmmaker the rights to adapt one of his short stories for the price of only $1. King retains the movie rights, and he keeps these VHSs on a shelf. Now, Frank Darabont was one of his dollar babies at the age of 20 in film school, and he adopted a story, The Woman in the Room, in 1983, and then he would, of course, go on to direct 3 great Stephen King adaptations. They worked together for a long time after that. Stephen King ended the Dollar Babies last year. They ran from 1977 to 2024. So that was a cool thing he did to try and help student filmmakers. Be like, yes, you can adapt one of my movies for the cost of $1. 5 Stephen King movies have gotten Oscar nominations. 1 has won an Oscar. Do you guys have any guesses, or do you know which 5 Stephen King movies have been nominated for Oscars?
So, Carrie for sure. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Carrie for sure.
Yep.
Shawshank Redemption.
That's 2.
Green Mile.
That's 3.
Oh my God, why am I blanking on this right now?
I want to say 1, but you're doing so good. I don't want to interrupt.
It's gotta be Misery. Misery's the winner too.
Misery is, and that is the winner. That was Best Actress, 1 for Kathy Bates. So you're missing one more movie. It only received 1 nomination. It was for Best Adapted Screenplay.
I can't think of it.
A Rob Reiner. It's a Rob Reiner.
I wanted to say
is it
Stand By Me?
Stand By Me.
That makes sense.
So yes, Carrie was nominated for Best Actress for Sissy Spacek, Best Supporting Actress for Piper Laurie. Stand By Me was adapted screenplay. Misery only had the 1 nomination for Kathy Bates, and she won for Best Actress, which she's fantastic.
It's kind of amazing,
Redemption,
though. I was gonna say, it's kind of amazing James Caan didn't get nominated. That's kind of ridiculous.
It is, because he's also fantastic. Both Shawshank and Green Mile were nominated for Best Picture. Morgan Freeman got an Oscar nomination for Best Actor in Shawshank. So, some good nominations there. So, we're going to be going chronologically, working our way through these 51 movies. Starting off, Carrie, the very first Stephen King adaptation. In 1976, Brian De Palma directs Sissy Spacek. This is really before Brian De Palma released most of his, nowadays best-known movies. This was before Blowout, Dressed to Kill, and Scarface. He had made Sisters a few years before, which is also fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
What are we thinking? Carrie, I feel like is an automatic in, right?
Automatic in, not even a question.
Automatic in. Fantastic movie. Tim, is this one you've seen? Tim, you're going to sit out most of this. Carrie is horror. Have you seen this?
I'm just here for the fun. I'm here. I get to be front row to you two geniuses, and I'm excited to be a part of the conversation.
Well, you weigh in, Tim. You give us thoughts as you please. Ask questions as you please. I'll walk you through it. I'll hold your hand.
I think Carrie Fisher should definitely get in. I'm enjoying her filmography, and yes, let's do it. She's in.
So how we're gonna do this, just so you guys know, we're gonna pick the ones that are guaranteed in. If there are any maybes, we're gonna stick them in a maybe pile, narrow it down to our 10, and then we're gonna rank them. I think that's the easiest, most cohesive way.
Sure.
The next one is another automatic guaranteed in. I'm sure. The Shining, coming out in 1980.
I saw that one in the theaters.
Famously, Stephen King hates this movie. He hates this adaptation.
Absolutely hates it.
Yep. It was hilarious.
I think his critique was that Jack, played by Jack Nicholson, goes crazy like too quickly. He didn't feel like it was a slow enough delve into madness the way he had it in his story. But it's a big book. It's a movie. You got to cut things down. Also famously, Stanley Kubrick apparently just like tortured Shelley Duvall while making this movie. He's just a mad genius. He is a genius, but apparently a little mad. I think the one scene everybody really kind of knows about is when she's walking backwards up the stairs, kind of like swinging a bat at Jack Nicholson. That, I think, is the scene where Stanley Kubrick apparently just tormented her and made her do it over and over and over again, and was just like berating her and demeaning her, just making her absolutely crazy for a very extended period of time. It's kind of his method. People also claim he's the reason Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, broke up, from also being tortured for Eyes Wide Shut.
Yep.
That's not a King adaptation, so we won't go there. But we have two in. The very first two movies are straight in.
And I don't even think there's a question on either. They're both so impactful, not only to the genre, but to just cinema as a whole. So many iconic scenes. Everybody knows the blood on Carrie. Everybody knows everything about The Shining. Like,
the blood.
It's not even a question. Yeah.
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 And I think it also
Next
is important to bring up the fact that that is going to forever change the way people see King, and will always associate him with horror because of that, even when he leaves the genre.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of the movies on this list are not horror, but King is primarily thought of as a horror master, and it's because look at these first two movies. This was a lot of people who weren't readers' introduction to him. They're like, oh, the Stephen King dude wrote these? These are awesome.
Yeah.
So, next up, Cujo. 1983, St. Bernard's bitten by a rabid bat. He gets rabies. This is like Old Yeller for sickos. Stars Dee Wallace of E.T., Critters, The Howling. Mm-hmm. I loved this movie growing up. I don't think it's as beloved as I held it when I was younger. What are your thoughts on it, Alan?
I have a lot of fun with it. I think it's really gnarly. Like the deaths are gross as hell, especially for the era. I think it's really well made. I think he has so many other flavors, like we were just talking about, that I can't put this one in yet. I would need to just do a quick. Yeah, this is a maybe because I think it's good enough for most filmographies to be in, but let's give it a second. We have so many to go through.
I think our next is probably also a maybe. The Dead Zone, 1983. This one's from David Cronenberg. Mm-hmm. Love Cronenberg. Stars Christopher Walken. And that was a terrible Walken. And Martin Sheen. So Cronenberg, just one of my all-time favorite filmmakers. He did The Brood, Videodrome, Scanners, Dead Ringers, A History of Violence, The Fly, all these great things. Walken, in this story, he wakes up from a years-long coma, and he has psychic abilities. He catches a killer. He works with the police, catches a killer. That's what it seems like the whole plot's going to be. And I feel like in most stories, that would be the plot. Like, I'm working with the police to catch a killer. But he catches the killer halfway through the movie. And I do feel like it loses a little bit of its momentum and pace after that, because then he starts getting into a political scheme after this. I don't think it's as compelling in the second half, but it's still a solid movie. What are your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that I'm really happy Cronenberg did it to expand what he was capable of doing. It's definitely not the body horror showcase that he is known for. It has moments of horror and blood that are excellent. It's just not quite at the other level. I do have this as a fringe top tenor, but again, I find it too hard to say this one is in right now.
And then this one went on to be a TV show for a while.
Yes,
that
did.
was successful.
I
You
saw
know
the
this, Tim?
show.
You know the show?
Yeah.
It was on USA forever.
Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on. It played for I don't know how many seasons on USA, and then just reruns galore.
Yeah, I saw that
But it's
one,
funny.
and then I watched the Crow TV show as well.
Oh, nice. That's not.
You
Stephen
remember
King.
that one?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't remember the show.
I don't remember the show, no.
I remember the
It
movie.
was terrible. It was on Sci-Fi.
But I didn't watch the show, but I was so familiar with the show because there was commercials for it constantly. And I, of course, kids growing up in the 90s, we watch USA all the time. So I knew about the show long before I even knew it was a movie, because I was a kid seeing those commercials all the time. So for the longest time, I don't even know who the actor is in the show, but for the longest time, that's who I associated with the Dead Zone, was whoever that guy was.
I was going to look it up. I'm pretty sure it's Anthony Michael Hall, wasn't it?
I think
it
you're
was
right,
Anthony Michael Hall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think you're right. Nice. Look at you, Tim, being
Anthony
helpful.
Michael Hall.
Oh, my God.
2002 to 2007. That's how long it ran for. 5 years.
You're right.
That's silly.
The actor famous from Halloween Kills. My God, he had to start before all that in the Dead Zone.
Yes, that is what people know Anthony Michael Hall from, is Halloween Kills.
It's one thing. He did other things. I'm with you with that one too, Josh. I definitely got introduced to the Dead Zone that way, and then weirdly on an SNL clip watching Christopher Walken kind of do it, but in a weird way. And then I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I, as an adult, found out. I was like, oh, there was a whole movie. Oh, okay. That's my 2 cents.
I promise we're getting ready to hit a bunch of bad ones that we are going to skip right over. But his beginning career was just, in film, pretty good, because the next one I think is at the very least a maybe. It is Christine from 1983, coming from John Carpenter, master of horror, a possessed car. It's really all you need to know. A possessed car that goes around killing people that are mean to its owner. It's a ton of fun. The car was a 1958 Plymouth Fury. I saw this one at a drive-in theater. It was a great way to see it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
a
awesome.
great way to see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Only time I've seen it, at the drive-in. It's fun. I think it's a maybe. It's Carpenter, and it's not Carpenter's best.
Yeah, I think it's maybe two. I agree with you. It's not Carpenter's best, and I don't think it's King's best. I think this movie should get adapted again in the near future, but just hasn't been. So hopefully that changes, because I think there's a better movie here than what we have. But I would still say maybe for now.
Yeah, it's fun enough.
I've seen parts of it.
Next up, Children of the Corn, 1984. I feel like this is one of his most famous. Like, this is a King movie, but is not very good. But people, when you think Stephen King movies, I think this is one of the first that come to mind. It's a very famous one, but I don't think it's very good. Now, I'm a sucker for killer kid movies. I love them. In this movie, a couple find a small farm town occupied only by children. There's a little preacher boy named Isaac, and he has a cult. And I also love cult movies. This is built for me, and it's just not very good. He has a cult of children who worship a corn monster. Sounds awesome. It's not that good, I don't think.
I agree, 100%. I actually am totally fine leaving this one out. I have no qualms about it. With how many we have, I'm totally fine leaving this one out.
I actually
Children
saw
of the Corn.
Yeah.
Oh, did
I'm
you?
with you guys. Yeah, I had a buddy who was like I said, when I was younger, we watched a ton of horror, and we watched there's like 4 of them, right? Isn't there?
There's like
Children of the Corn?
now
There's too
like
many,
10
and
of
there's
them.
remakes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. It's creepy though.
All right. So that's our first out. Next up, Firestarter, 1984. A young Drew Barrymore. Kids are subjected to medical experiments. Years later, they marry, and they have a child who can now start fires with her mind, which makes her a target to a secret government agency. And it is also just not very good. I think this one is also out.
Yeah.
Out. Yeah, if they had made the Carpenter one, awesome, but they didn't, so out.
Oh, yeah, Carpenter would have ruled at that.
Oh, he wanted to. There's a whole backstory. Look it up if you have time.
Okay, I will look it up.
Teasing.
Next up, Silver Bullet, 1985. This is based on the novella Cycle of the Werewolf. As much as I'm a sucker for killer kids movies, I'm a sucker for werewolf movies. I like this movie. There's a series of unexplained murders in a small town. Corey Haim, of the Two Corys fame, plays a young boy in a wheelchair who teams up with his uncle, who is Gary Busey, to catch a werewolf. That's great. As much as I enjoy it, it is not a top 10 Stephen King movie. I don't think we need to put it in contention.
I hate that we're like so in sync on this because it's a little strange. But yes, I feel the same way. I have so much fun with Silver Bullet, I would not ever rank it in the top 10.
Yeah. It's a good movie. It's a good time. All right, this one I just watched this morning. Maximum Overdrive, 1986. This is adapted from the short story Trucks. What's unique about this one is Stephen King wrote the screenplay and he directed it. This is stars of a young Emilio Estevez and is about a comet that passes through Earth's orbit and all the machines come alive. There is a vending machine that shoots soda cans at a guy's crotch. Pretty much everything will try to come alive and kill you, but the main villains are semi-trucks at a fueling station that just circle and torment the people inside. Another weird thing, the main semi-truck villain, the villain truck, has a giant green goblin on the front of it, like from Marvel.
Yes.
And it looks exactly like the Green Goblin. I was like, how did they get away with that? So I Googled it, and it was just like Marvel said, yeah, you can use Green Goblin. So it's like legit the Green Goblin is the villain of this Stephen King directed movie. It's not very good.
No, it's not. It's so funny. AC/DC also does the score and writes music for it. So the whole movie is just like metal as fuck. Like, I'm sorry if I wasn't allowed to say that, but like it's metal as hell.
You can say it. We say it all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just isn't very good. I hate the phrase like this, but this is like definitely King in his cocaine era. Like as bluntly honest as we're gonna be. Like that's 1000% what got this movie made.
So up next, Stand By Me, 1986. Stand By Me, adapted from the novella The Body. This is another one of his that I did read. The title apparently came from Kiefer Sutherland revealed this on a talk show. He was teaching River Phoenix how to play Stand By Me on guitar, and Rob Reiner walks by and is like, oh, I love that song. I haven't heard that in a while. And then changed it from The Body to Stand By Me, which I think is a much more fitting name to the film adaptation story of it, because it is all about friendship and, childhood and growing up and all that. And the Stand By Me, I think, feels much better. So, great cast. You have River Phoenix, like I said, Corey Feldman, Will Wheaton, Jerry O'Connell, and Kiefer Sutherland. I love Kiefer. This is one of my favorite Stephen King's. I think that this is an in. This is an
like the bookends with Richard Dreyfuss. Like it is
Oh,
the
yeah.
most like King like fueled movie of any of them almost.
Yes. I love it. All right. Up next, The Running Man, not the one we were talking about. This one is from 1987, stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, and very different from the novel and very different from the remake we just got. I think this movie has the most one-liners out of Arnold Schwarzenegger in any action movie of all time. They are nonstop, and they're funny. And this is such a fun movie. It's a bad
Definitely
movie.
a fun movie.
I love it, but it's
Yeah.
it's not a very good movie. But I have a blast with it.
I'm higher on it than you are. I still struggle to say this is going to make a top 10 though.
No. Yeah, I don't have it going in. Yeah.
Yeah. So
We can't. It's so much fun, and so much of it I think is childhood nostalgia. I watched this movie so much as a kid, and what makes this one different, than the King's story and the adaptation that came out this year is in this one they take criminals and they put them in like a Thunderdome arena. They're not just running free trying to hide. They get put in a Thunderdome arena and they send in like American gladiators after them who have like special powers. There's an opera singer who shoots like electricity out of his hands for some reason. And there's an ice hockey player who has like a bladed hockey stick. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
It's nothing like the story, but it's fun. 1989, we get Pet Sematary. I put this in the same exact boat as Children of the Corn. It's a well-known, linked to King. Not very good. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's not in.
I think the Pet Sematary book might be his scariest book, and I think neither of the movies have ever been even in the ballpark of what the book is able to accomplish.
I believe it, man.
Yeah.
It's a scary story. It's just not great done.
Yeah.
So you're good. Not in, right?
Not in.
Next up, Graveyard Shift, 1990. I watched this one today. I can tell you it is not going in. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was
not.
terrible.
What if Pet Sematary, but worse in every single way?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's
Like even like the lead like villain is just straight up stealing Fred Gwynn's accent from Pet Sematary and using it himself. Like it is the same accent but worse.
Yeah. Bad movie. The Lawnmower Man, 1992. Pierce Brosnan. Some really bad CGI in the early 1990s. That's really what it's remembered for, how bad it looked and how scary it is. It's like psychoactive drugs and virtual reality. And again, remember it from my childhood. But no, it is not in.
It's very much like Flowers for Algernon, like but in the digital age. Like straight
I
up.
don't know what that is.
Full Simple Jack. The character goes full Simple Jack.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that
Gotcha.
one. I agree. Bad
You saw The Lawnmower Man.
I did when it came out.
I feel bad that
inspired
that's
you
one of
to
the ones
go
that
to
you've
film
seen.
That is one of the ones I've seen. Would you?
I feel bad, yeah.
What would you say, John?
All right. I said, is that what inspired you to go to film school?
No, that was not one of the things.
Okay.
Not at all.
1993, we get The Dark Half. Another one of my absolute favorite filmmakers, George A. Romero, of course, best known for his zombie movies, Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, all that. Another writer character. So, like we've already talked about, so many of King's characters are writers. They say write what you know. So many of his characters are authors. They all live in Maine. This one is funny because the plot is the character writer gets discovered using a pseudonym to write a very popular series, and then he gets blackmailed and basically has to kill off his pseudonym because the guy's like, I'm going to tell everybody you're the guy who's actually writing them, not this fake guy you made up. And King was using his pseudonym at this like same time to write stuff secretly. So it seems very personal when this one came out, but the plot is basically he tries to kill off this fake author he created, and the fake author comes to life and won't let him. And it's like, nah, man, fuck you. I'm going to kill everybody. It's weird.
It very clearly inspired Malignant in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a great time with this one. I'm not putting it in, but I had a really fun time with this. This is probably, when you asked me to do the podcast, this was like one of the only ones I hadn't seen. So I'm really happy to have caught up with it because I had a lot of fun with it, but it's just not good enough to get in.
Yeah, I
wanna
watched
watch
a
that,
lot.
Actually,
What's that?
I said I want to watch that. That sounds cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a fun time, but I agree. It's not going in. It is very, Romero, but it's still kind of weaker Romero.
Before we go any further, by the way, you did skip one.
Yes. Oh, what did I miss?
You skipped Misery.
What? Oh shit, you're right. I think
Yeah.
it's between Graveyard Shift and Lawnmower Man.
So
Okay.
Man, you
I was like,
such a loser.
I was ready to talk about Misery,
Suck.
and then we're like, wait, we haven't gotten to Misery
Okay.
yet.
You're right. Okay, so in between Graveyard Shift and Lawnmower Man comes a little movie called Misery. We were already talking about it. This is another Rob Reiner who did Stand By Me. Kathy Bates wins an Oscar for playing Annie Wilkes. I love this. This is one of my, just like Stand By Me, absolute favorite Stephen King movies. To me, that's an absolute in. I'm assuming the same for you.
Yes.
All right. You have anything you
I
want to say
watched
about
it.
it? Oh, yeah. Tim watched this one. He hadn't seen it, and he watched it for the pod.
I mean,
Yeah.
she is so good as Annie Wilkes. It's really.
Oh, my God.
It might be my single favorite
Fantastic.
like Oscar win of the '90s in that category. She's so good. Like it's incredible. Kathy Bates, just a pure queen. Like seriously.
Dude,
And
I've
I'm not
seen-
joking when I say if you rank the top like cinematic villains of all time, of course you're gonna have your Darth
have to.
Vaders and all this, but
Yeah.
Annie Wilkes is there. I think.
Yeah, I like that scene with the sledgehammer, but just the shot of her putting it on her shoulder. I saw that so much as a kid, like that shot, and every time I see Kathy Bates, I always think of Misery. I'm like, she's gonna fucking kill somebody in this. I'm like, Tim, it's The Office. She's not gonna kill anybody. All right, calm the fuck down.
That's what you think.
But did you catch the reference to her in The Monkey? Did you catch
Yeah.
the reference? Josh the
Oh,
Jew.
they mentioned Annie Wilkes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She
Yes,
was the name
I-
of the dead babysitter.
Yes,
during the
I remembered.
funeral
I
yesterday.
heard the name, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it clicked for a second. Yes.
I was like, oh shit. Sorry. That was
All right.
like a
So
contribution.
Misery is definitely in. So right now, just
You
to,
guys keep talking.
to catch up, we have 4: Carrie, The Shining, Stand By Me, and Misery. Those are guaranteed ends. All right. Now up next, going back to where we were after the dark half, we have a small movie. A lot of people probably haven't heard of this one, The Shawshank Redemption from 1994, directed by Frank Darabont, based on the novella Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption. This went up for Best Picture against Forrest Gump, Four Weddings and a Funeral, Quiz Show, and Pulp Fiction. A lot of great movies
Yes.
in that year's Best Picture nominees. Forrest Gump, not shitting on Forrest Gump, but it is often looked back that Pulp Fiction or Shawshank should have won, probably.
Yeah, I would agree.
I
with
think
that.
that they hold up better. Still, Shawshank Redemption is a great. This is one that like bombed in theaters and then
Yeah.
just became an absolute. I think this is the #1 rated movie on IMDb. Is it not?
It has been for decades. If
Yeah.
it has been unseated, it's very recent. I don't believe it has been.
I think
Which
it's
is
so
crazy.
funny. It's because I actually read the. I bought. It's called For All Seasons, and that has the 4 novellas in it: The Body and Shawshank, and I forgot the other 2 right now.
Yeah, it's
But-
called what? Rita. It's the Rita Hayworth.
Rita
affair?
Hayworth. Yeah, Rita
Hayworth
Hayworth
and
in the
Shawshank
Shawshank
Yeah.
Redemption. But it's so funny because Rob Reiner, I guess, because I was looking up some facts about it after I got done reading the book, or at least that part of it. And Rob Reiner was like, "Yeah, I read it For All Seasons, and I read The Body first. And if I would have just read the next story, I probably would have made that over Stand By Me." So
But you know,
we
it
almost
worked
had
out.
Rob Reiner. It worked out great. The director was amazing,
both did
and
great
he,
movies.
yeah, both great.
I was lucky enough last year to be able to go to a screening of Shawshank Redemption where Roger Deakins introed the movie and did a Q&A and did it like a book
awesome.
signing. And just like hearing him talk about Shawshank is still chilling because that movie is so well shot, is beautiful, with the greatest cinematographer of all time shooting it, and then you have Darabont writing the hell out of it. I mean, yeah, this is an obvious end.
good.
And you know
I
what I
don't
like?
think we even have to push that hard for that.
No.
Yeah, I put it in. But Morgan Freeman was nominated for Best Actor. They didn't give him Best Supporting. I feel like nowadays they'd have lumped him in Best Supporting and just said, Tim Robbins is the lead. That happens a lot nowadays. But here they were like, he's just as much a lead. He got lead
Yeah.
actor.
I mean, he frankly is the one telling us the story. Like, it is more
Right.
through Red's eyes than it is anybody else's.
Yeah, 100%. Because that was even the book was through Red's journals. So I'm just writing everything down.
All right. So I put Shawshank in. Next up, The Mangler,
Oh, yeah.
1995. Toby Hooper. It has Robert Englund under a ton of prosthetics. Is it Ted Levine? Ted Levine? Do you know how
Ted
do you say it?
Levine, I believe.
Ted Levine, who no matter what I see him in, he's the voice of Rusty Nail from Joyride.
That's-
Candy cane.
That's what you think? You don't think Buffalo
You don't
Bill?
think Buffalo Bill?
Yeah.
I don't. I always think Joyride.
That's so wild.
Even
I
when he
know.
was in Psych, I could not think of him just going, "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck
Well,
me."
I saw Joyride. I saw Joyride a lot as a kid, and before I ever saw,
Silence of the
before
Lambs,
I ever
really?
saw Silence of the Lambs.
You want that pink champagne? I like Joyride though. Joyride was fun.
Joyride's great, man.
Yeah.
Now, I remember my mom would rent Silence of the Lambs a lot from the VHS like Blockbuster, but I wasn't allowed to watch it. But I always remember seeing the cover, and I was just always like, "Oh, what the hell is that? That looks weird." But no, the first thing that I saw and really clicked with, because like I said, I watched it a lot, was Joyride, and he has such a distinct voice that's I always just immediately go to his candy cane, ba ba black sheep over the like radio. This movie, if you need to know what the fuck this movie is about. It is a demon possesses an industrial laundry folding machine and eats people.
Okay.
The fuck?
Yep.
That's it.
King was on some stuff sometimes. Like, just really went for it. It's like
Have you
basic
seen this
idea.
one, Alan?
I've actually not seen Mangler. This is one of the only ones I've never seen.
Well, I will tell you, it is not a good movie, but you will have fun. I would recommend you watch it. It is absolutely ridiculous as it sounds. Ted Levine, Rusty Nail, he is a detective who is investigating these deaths that just keep happening at this industrial folding machine, and he's just like, what the hell going on? Why is this? How do we keep having accidents? And it's because there's a demon in it. And you guys remember Monster House at the end when the possessed house grows legs from trees and chases the kids?
Yes.
This giant laundry folding machine does that.
Oh my god.
It's awesome. But it's not going in. It's not a top 10. It's not a top 10 movie.
No.
Next up, Dolores Claiborne, 1995. I had not seen this before, but I watched it just like The Mangler and a bunch of others. I watched it to prep for this episode. This stars Kathy Bates again and Jennifer Jason Leigh. They mentioned Shawshank Prison in it, which was cool. Mm-hmm. Dolores is accused of murdering the mean old lady that she has been a caretaker for years, for decades. And as they look into it, they reveal that maybe she has also killed her husband way in the past. And it unfolds as this dark family history. And what's the mystery to her to her like family and her relationships. And I really dug this movie. I thought this was really good. It is not a horror. It is like a drama mystery thriller that I think was very effective. Did you see this one, Alan? Because I know you hadn't seen it before.
I have seen it. I actually like it a lot. I think Kathy Bates is really good in this movie.
There's a lot of bad accents in it.
I say Christopher Plummer's accent is really bad. That being said, I still think that everyone's really effective in this. Young John C. Reilly. Like
I was going to say a young, thin John C. Reilly.
Pre Boogie Nights, maybe post River Wild. It was like early in his career.
This is 95, so this is right around River Wild time. Yeah. I think River Wild 93.
Yeah, so he's
Or
really
96.
good in it in a small role. But the movie is undeniably about Kathy Bates. I'm a little surprised they didn't go for this one for the Oscars because I think it is well shot.
It's more of an Oscar movie than you would think of Misery being.
Yes, I would put this in the maybe pile for now. But
Same for me.
I can
really
see it making our top 10, but I think right now it's put in the maybes.
Yeah. All right. Thinner, 1996. Published as Richard Bachman, a gypsy curses a really fat lawyer to make him lose weight, and he just can't stop, and he just gets skinnier and skinnier. That's the whole plot.
Yeah, I hate this movie.
I think I've seen
I absolutely hate this movie.
I know. I saw you gave it like a half star on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
I saw this
no.
one.
I despise this movie. I think it just sucks. So
It's a bad movie.
yeah,
It has a pretty dark ending because he's like, I have to get rid of the gypsy curse on me, and Joe Mantegna is there as like a mob boss or something to help him. So they just start shooting gypsies and like fighting gypsies. And finally, the gypsy who put the curse on him is like, you have to put this curse in this pie. Mm-hmm. The curse becomes in the pie. He's like, whoever you feed the pie to will die, but you will live. And his wife's cheating on him. So he's like, I'm going to make my wife eat this pie, that cheating bitch. And he gives it to her, and he wakes up, and his daughter's like, the pie was so good, Dad.
Thanks,
he's like,
Mom.
No,
Or thanks, Dad.
no. And he killed his daughter with a cursed pie.
think I've seen parts of this movie actually. Now
It's basically
Well, you
guy
shouldn't have,
in
'cause
a
it's pretty
giant, guy in a giant fat suit,
Yeah.
and then gets thinner, so the makeup it looks bad. I just hate this movie so much.
The
Yeah, I think I'm
prosthetics
right.
are so bad. I said,
Yeah.
you know what? Nowadays, you hire Christian Bale. You film it in reverse, he'll get fat, and then he will lose it all.
It's true.
Christian Bale will do that shit on screen.
I was
You
gonna
don't need
say
prosthetics.
Eddie Murphy could do this in his sleep with the prosthetics too. Like it
Norbit?
would look way better in his hands, or Sandler when he's in like Click. Like there are better ways to make this movie than the way this one is made.
Was your first Eddie Murphy Norbit over the Nutty Professor?
I mean,
I realized when I said it, the Nutty Professor would have been the better one to go to.
That's what I was
But-
like, wait a minute.
but honestly, I would rather watch the Norbit version with just the characters of Norbit in thinner, like straight up.
Imagine the characters of Norbit in Misery. That'd be good. All right. Next up was The Night Flyer, 1997. I could not find this movie.
Yeah, you have to buy it online, and you have to buy a disc. Best case scenario, it's not even on streaming platforms, not on Apple TV, not on Amazon.
I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
So what I did was I watched some YouTube clips of it, and I think I know why it's not available anywhere, because it was pretty bad. The YouTube clips that I watched, it's about a vampire. It's about all I know. I feel safe saying it's not going in without seeing it.
Yeah,
It's not in.
I'm good not including it. I mean, I know very little about this movie, to be 100% honest, so yeah, I'm good.
Well, he flies at night. Next up, Apt Pupil, 1998. Brian Singer.
Yeah, not
Guy who did
controversial at all.
X-Men. Yeah, no controversy. He did X-Men. He did Superman Returns. He didn't do anything bad that we know of. Alleged bad deeds, yes. Ian McKellen is in this. He plays a Nazi hiding out in a town, and there's a kid who, for some reason, is obsessed with Nazis, who finds him and becomes fascinated, wants to hear all his Nazi tales. I saw this movie a while ago. I saw this when Netflix was discs, and they mailed it to me, and I watched it. It was fine. I don't remember it being bad. I don't remember it being great. I think it's very middle of the line. It's not going in.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think McKellen was in an era where he was just showing out every time, but no, we're good. We're good. Just leave this one out.
All right. Green Mile, 1999. Frank Darabont back doing another Stephen King prison movie. I think that's kind of weird that his first two movies are Stephen King prison movies, but he was in a groove. It works. Tom Hanks, Michael Clark Duncan. Great movie. Another really long prison movie. I think it's in.
Okay, so I'm going to push back a little bit on this.
Okay.
I think that this is a very good movie because Michael Clark Duncan is unbelievable. However,
He is.
I do not know if I feel comfortable putting in 3 Frank Darabont movies into a top 10 list like this, and I am going to go really hard for The Mist later. So,
You don't got to go hard for the Mist, because I was planning on fighting hard for the Mist.
okay, well
So-
then that's my only counter is
I'll put it
wanna
in the maybe.
Put it as a maybe. I think it's probably going to be in the top 10, but I just want to take a pause and see where we're at after we get through this initial
So-
run through.
I saw The Green Mile in theaters. I remember I was young when it came out, 1999. But my parents took me to see it in theaters, and I remember they were like, "You're gonna be so sad. Bring tissues." They made me bring packed tissues in my pockets because I was gonna like cry or something. I was like, "Am I gonna masturbate at this movie? What's going on?"
Oh my
so I
God.
filled my pockets, and I get there, and because the whole thing about this movie was they're like, "It's so sad. The ending's gonna get you. The ending's gonna get you." And I remember even as a kid, and it's like a 3-hour-long movie, and even as
It's
a kid,
very-
I was
Yeah.
like. I was digging it. I was into it. Now, I haven't watched it super recently. I own it on 4K, and I haven't watched it since I bought it. But, like, because every time I'm going to get my daughter to watch it, and every time we're going to watch it, she's like, wait, it's that long? I don't have that much time. So we haven't watched it yet. I'm going to get her to watch it with me. But I'm good putting it in a maybe.
I will say,
Did you
the other-
cry in the theater?
I don't remember if I cried. I know I jerked off, but I don't remember if I cried.
Oh my god!
Don't tell your daughter to bring tissues then.
Michael Jeter's excellent in that movie. He's the guy with the mouse for most of it.
Yeah.
Dude,
and
Sam
he-
Rockwell?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it is a very good movie. My bigger qualms are just I have other darlings I'm going to fight for harder. So yeah,
Sure.
maybe for now.
Understandable.
I seen it.
All right.
I'm with it.
Next up, Hearts in Atlantis, 2001, Anthony Hopkins. I don't want to say a ton about this one. I watched it when I was younger. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's all that memorable. I don't remember a ton about it.
Yeah, I don't have it logged on Letterboxd because I don't remember it, even though I know for a fact I watched it.
Yeah, this is one I watched when I was younger.
Yeah.
But it didn't stick with me.
Yeah, I remember Hopkins being fine, but also Hopkins wakes up and it's like borderline Oscar nomination. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
fair.
awesome. All right. Dreamcatcher, 2003.
So
Saw
bad.
this one in theaters. This is absolute fucking garbage. A cast of Thomas Jane, Timothy Olyphant, Jason Lee, Donnie Wahlberg. You know it's good when it's got Donnie Wahlberg. Morgan Freeman, Tom Sizemore. This movie fucking sucks. This
Terrible.
movie is garbage.
Yep, I'm good to just move on.
Yeah. I've never seen
An
it, but it's all
alien
I've heard
gives
about
kids
it.
superpowers. Years later, they're adults. And I remember they shit out a killer slug in a
I was
toilet.
saying
and they try and hide it.
the alien poop is what I will always remember.
And I remember the dude peeing in cursive. He writes his name in cursive with his urine in the snow. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, just
What do you mean?
You can't pee in cursive. Not in cursive. Nobody's that good.
Yes, you can. That's the only way to pee.
Oh, Tim, was this you? Were you in the movie?
Actually, yeah, 100%. When I used to live in New York, we would pee in the snow in cursive all the time because you can't stop your flow. So the cursive made it easier to go into the next thing. It said when I had to dot my I. That was the problem.
All right. Tim convinced me. Dreamcatcher's going in.
oh my god.
No, just the cursive pee part.
Dreamcatcher is out. All right. 2004, we get Secret Window, based on the novel or the story Secret Window, Secret Garden. Johnny Depp and John Turturro, another solid
some of
cast.
it.
A writer hides out in a cabin in upstate New York for a mental health break. Turturro finds him and accuses him of plagiarizing his work. I didn't like this movie.
I don't like it very much either. I think
Yeah, no one did.
this is like one of the weird Johnny Depp misses in that era, which was very rare in that window. So yeah, I'm good skipping this one.
That secret
All right.
window.
Riding the Bullet, 2004. Never heard of it. Didn't watch it.
Jonathan Jackson's in it, and it's fine. Like, and that's about all I can say. Yeah.
Oh, good. So we have your input to say it's not going in, right?
It's not going. I love McGarris. He's should be a better King director, and he just isn't, unfortunately.
All right. Up next, 1408, 2007. We got John Cusack and Sam Jackson. Cusack is an author who debunks supernatural claims. He gets a room at the supposedly haunted Dolphin Hotel run by Jackson. Turns out that room's actually haunted. He's like, I'm going to debunk the shit out of this, and he gets haunted. He gets spooked. I think it's a fine movie. I would be comfortable maybe putting it in a maybe, but I feel like it's not going to go in, even from the maybe part.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's my counter,
That's
is
not-
that I don't think I would possibly put this in the top 10, so I'm fine leaving it off now.
All right.
Yeah, no.
It's out. This one, I'm not counting it, but I just kind of wanted to put it in because it's kind of funny. There was a no smoking, an Indian movie from 2007 based on Quitters, Inc. So there was an Indian adaptation. I just thought that was neat. I didn't see it. The Mist,
I mean, we kind of already discussed this.
2007.
Like, we're going to be the weirdos everyone's going to yell at.
I had this marked in yellow that I was going to try and fight to get in maybe because I thought you were going to fight me on putting it in. I want it in.
I want it in 1,000%, especially the black and white version. I think this movie absolutely rules. The ending
we're
is
putting The
so
Mist in.
controversial, but
The ending
like,
is great.
but it's so good.
I love Mist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
well, I'm
actually
glad.
saw it.
Yeah, I'm glad we were in a safe space for Mist lovers here because this movie is phenomenal.
The ending makes
So
it,
this
though.
is-
That's the thing. The ending makes the movie.
And it's different than the novel.
So
So
good.
this is Frank Darabont again. This is his third. Stars Thomas Jane and half the cast of The Walking Dead because Frank Darabont launched The Walking Dead. This is people trapped in a grocery store while a mist containing killer aliens or monsters has spread. People turn on each other. It features one of the most shocking endings, like Tim is saying. The story's ending in the written story is more ambiguous. They're stuck in the mist and they run out of gas, and it just kind of fades from there. It doesn't show Thomas Jane murdering his family and friends. Darabont told King he
Spoiler
wanted the
alert.
movie. It's been out a long time.
To be fair, it has been out almost 20 years. Like,
Darabont told King he wanted the movie to have a more definitive ending, pitched the one that we got, and King loved it, saying it was anti-Hollywood and nihilistic, and go for it.
Dude.
And he did.
If he
I
would have
remember
just
when I
left
first saw
with
it.
the lady, he would have survived.
I know. When I first watched it, the ending bugged me, not because I was like, oh, they're all dead yet, because I felt like it was trying too hard to be shocking. I was like, you're just trying to like push the boundaries to say he shoots everybody and then everybody gets rescued. But it's grown on me. Now I'm pro that murder.
yeah, I mean, it's just incredibly dark, but it's incredible. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you seen Dolan's Cadillac from 2009?
So this is an era where I just like fully checked out of King. I think all of the next like 4 movies are like basically straight to DVD movies. Like,
Yeah, that's why
they
I'm okay
barely exist.
not fucking.
So when I was trying to find Dolan's Castle or Cadillac and Mercy, they have a combined 2 Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
Oh,
Like 2.
one
Period.
each.
One each. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
so Dolan's Cadillac and Mercy, which was coming up, they're both out. I didn't know what either of them were, and I also couldn't find them. So let's just go to Carrie, which came out in between them. This is the Carrie remake from 2013. Chloe Grace Moretz, Julianne Moore, Judy Greer. Great cast. I don't think the movie's terrible, but you're remaking a classic from De Palma. Unless it's an absolute masterpiece, it just feels unnecessary, and that's what this one kind of landed.
Yeah, it's
fine.
I'm already struggling with the fact that Flanagan is actively remaking it for TV. I didn't vibe with this one now.
Yeah.
So.
I think Chloe Grace Moretz is a good Carrie. But
Yes, I would agree with that. And
but I don't think it.
I was gonna say, I think Julianne Moore pushes too hard. I think Julianne
Yeah,
Moore
she goes a little too
is overacting it really bad.
Coming in 2014, A Good Marriage. I did not rewatch this one. Alan, what are your thoughts?
It's terrible. It looks really, really bad. It cannot sustain a feature-length movie. It like runs out of steam in the first like 30 minutes, and then you're done. So yeah, no, it's awful.
Is that beer awful?
I just opened a new beer. This thing tastes like fucking shit.
Like a good marriage, one might say.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good pairing. I got this at Aldi. They had the 12 beers of Christmas, and there's just 12 different beers, and there's no actual like label or title. It's just like it's like the most generic beer that you would see in like a movie that just says beer across the label.
What kind of
This one's
IPA
an
is it?
Imperial IPA, and it is terrible.
Oof.
Okay. The first 2 I had earlier were good. All right, so that movie's out. Next up, It Chapter 1. Andy Muschietti famously made what many called the greatest comic book movie of all time, The Flash. They called that before it came out, and then everybody saw it and they said, you fucking liars. It's a great cast of kids. There's some wonky CGI in this movie that really kind of throws me off. I don't think it's really scary at all outside of Bill Skarsgård being Pennywise. The rest of the scares, like the lady coming out of the painting and chasing him around, I think that stuff looks wonky. I think it's a good movie. It does not incorporate the child orgy from the novel. I think that's good.
I think it was a good call. I think that was a really smart call.
So, yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, in the novel, all the kids after they defeat Pennywise apparently run train on the girl, and that's weird because they're children. But I have this as a maybe. I think most of the general audience would probably be like, "Oh, put it in. It's great." I think it's okay.
Okay, so I'm going to do 2 things. Number 1, Muschietti, I agree with you. He is always just strange with CGI. I'm going to absolutely rail against It Chapter 2 in a minute.
No, that's out.
Because that one is really bad because of the CGI. My argument for this one going in is that it has Full Sail relaunched like King in the modern era. It is, I think, most people's introduction to King today. And I think the first one really works because it has very little fat on it compared to many of the other adaptations that are about to come in.
And the kids are great.
The kids are great. Like, they
Bill
really
Skarsgård,
killed it.
Great.
Yeah, so I would definitely... I'm fine if we put it in yellow for now, but I'm going to be pushing pretty hard for this one to be in.
All right, I'm putting It Chapter 1. It wasn't even called It Chapter 1. They just called it It, and then they had It Chapter 2. You should have called it Chapter 1.
They call it Chapter 1 in the credits, but in the credits. Like, yeah.
So the same year, 2017, we get Gerald's Game. This was Flanagan, right? I didn't write it down.
Yes,
Mike
it is Flanagan, yes.
This is his first of the 3 that he does. This was a Netflix movie, husband and wife having a romantic getaway at an isolated lake house. They do some kinky play, handcuff her to the bed. They argue, and he dies. And then she is just stuck there, handcuffed to the bed, and she can't get out. And I think she starts to see a little bit of spooky stuff, too. But it's primarily not paranormal. It is primarily a survival thriller of I'm just chained to the bed, my husband's dead on top of me, and that's pretty dark. I think it's good. I think it's a maybe for me.
I'm a little bit lower on it than you. I'm fine putting it in yellow
I'm okay
for now.
not putting it in the maybe pile.
Okay, yeah, because so the dog stuff is interesting. The ending is a little wacky. I don't actually hate the ending like a lot of people do.
Right.
The glove removal scene, I don't know how else to phrase it, is like
Oh, is that
harrowing.
when she pulls out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not a sex thing, Jimbo.
Yeah,
It is
making
not.
faces.
All I'm saying is, I don't know what happens in this movie, but she's chained. There's a dog. The guy dies.
pulling
and she's
out.
pulling out. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, hey,
I mean, basically, she
Check it
has
out.
to cut her hand in a way to escape the handcuffs she's in.
Cuffs.
Yeah, so it's pretty.
My
gnarly.
advice:
you don't use the
buy
real
cheap
one.
sex cuffs. You can get
Yeah.
out of those easy.
To be fair, the movie does
Yes.
address that at the very beginning. And she's like, not the cute stuff, and he's like, no, then you'd get out of them.
Oh, there you go. That's smart.
So,
I
so
don't remember that.
it's in
Very
the
smart.
screenplay. Like they actually do address it.
All right.
Oh, real quick,
19
we skipped two. We skipped Cell and we skipped Dark Tower. Both of them are not going in, but we did skip them.
Come on, Josh.
Look at you. You're being very good at catching me on skipping because you're right. I did skip them, and you were right. They are not going in. So right after Good Marriage was The Cell. I watched that today. Fuck, I wish I hadn't watched it. It brings back John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson together for King, and neither of them want to be there. And that is abundantly clear in their performances. It is a movie about cell phones make people go crazy into like a hive mind kind of zombie state. They get like something fucks with their brain. And it's so fucking bad. And at one point, John Cusack's wife goes down on one of these zombie things, and it was a weird scene. But then it turns out it was just his vision. He had a nightmare of his wife like sucking off a zombie hybrid thing, and then they just burn a bunch of them with gas. It's a weird movie. The Dark Tower. I also watched this one for this episode. This was a very popular, apparently, series. I have not
Yes.
read any of the series, but this is like King's kind of staple series to a lot of people. I see Alan has it there.
Yeah.
There are 8 novels, 1 novella, and a children's book, and in this story, it connects a lot of his other stories into it. Right, Alan? You've read these, or you've read
I
some?
have read The Gunslingers, the first one. I actually just started reading the Dark Tower series because I finally got enough King under my belt. It's basically what if you had like a team up of all of the King stuff across all of his different stories.
Right.
Characters who die end up in the Dark Tower series. So just because, that's kind of like how they do stuff. So this movie can't do any of that because it's 1,000 different intellectual properties that have been sold in 1,000 different directions. So they tried to just like skinny it down, and it makes no effing sense. The cardinal
and it's just
sin.
so generic.
Well, the cardinal sin of the movie is that the main character is Roland, who is the gunslinger, who is Idris Elba.
Right.
And instead they're like, what if instead we have a child? And I'm like, no, that is not it.
The child's not a part of the book at all, is he?
He is a part of the book, but he like dies in the first book and then other things happen. But like, yeah, he is in the books, but the main character is Roland, like, period.
Right.
So
Yeah, no, this really felt like a very generic, like young adult novel that they were trying to like push out. Nothing special about it. I love Idris Elba. I love Matthew McConaughey. And I think that they're both fine in the movie, but the script is just so bad. It's
yeah,
terrible.
I actually think Elba's pretty good in the movie. I just think that the movie is terrible.
I think Matthew McConaughey does a good job at just being a pretty, just callous villain. But
Yeah.
it's out. All right. Now back after Gerald's Game, the same year again, 2017, we get It Chapter 1, Gerald's Game, and 1922. This is another Netflix movie. A ranger and his teenage son conspire to murder his wife for financial gain. It's mostly forgettable to me. I watched it and I remember very little of it. I don't think it's going in. You
definitely
watched
not.
it for this, right?
Yeah, I rewatched it for this. I had seen it when it initially came out. I just hadn't logged it on Letterboxd.
It's not very good.
It's not very good.
All right, up after that, 2019, we get It Chapter 2. You and I have already both said, this is bad.
So
I
bad.
also watched this one at a drive-in, and I hated it. And I was so excited for it because the cast of Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy, Bill Hader, Bill Skarsgård back again, great. But this movie is so silly and so combobulated and just not scary.
Not
and
at
it
all.
just fails on all parts, I feel like.
Yeah, even though it's like a faithful adaptation of like the initial kill, the hate crime that kicks off the movie,
Right.
that scene is not scary, and that scene is like supposed to, like in the book, is like chills you to the bone, and in the
Right.
movie it's nothing. It's a nothing burger of a scene, and it looks hilarious. Like from the get go, it's bad.
So that's sad. But moving on. Pet Sematary remake. I actually kind of like this movie, but it's not going in the top 10. I kind of enjoy it. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't like it very much at all. But
Most
I
people
also-
don't.
Yeah.
I'm in the minority for kind of enjoying this one.
Did we ever talk about Pet Sematary 2?
Well, that's not a Stephen King adaptation. That was just a sequel to the movie. But he only wrote the Pet Sematary.
That's the only one I fucking saw. I saw 2 so many times. Oh,
Sorry, Tim. Your input
Damn.
is not needed. Next up, In the Tall Grass.
Hasn't been for a
2019, another Netflix movie. Patrick Wilson, a couple enters some tall grass to rescue a kid, and there's something evil in there. And I also remember not liking this movie at all.
This movie's terrible. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah. It's fucking
It also
bad.
looks like a Netflix movie in, like, all the derogatory ways that I mean that. Like, it is terrible.
Not one of their Oscar movies.
No.
Here's my hot take, is for the next movie. Dr. Sleep, 2019. Mike Flanagan is back. This is a sequel to The Shining. Years later, Ewan McGregor plays Danny Torrance. Okay, Rebecca Ferguson plays the villain, Rose the Hat. I love this movie so much, and the hot take, I think this is better than The Shining.
That is a hot take. I was going to come here and be like, this movie absolutely rules. Put it in. Let's go. I do not think it's better than The Shining, but I do think it absolutely should be in this list. It is.
Yeah, this movie fucking rules.
Especially the director's cut is such a perfect, like, the extra 30 minutes, they do everything you possibly would want from a Shining movie sequel, and also a sequel to the book. I don't know how he pulled it off. Like, truly, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But it does
because
both.
the ending to the original Shining is different than the book.
Yeah,
because
very
what
different.
in the book the whole building is the hotel burns down or something, right?
Yes, the Overlook Hotel burns
So
down.
they had changed it up for the movie adaptation. Yes, I agree. The director's cut, even the regular one, which I saw in theaters and then I bought it and I watched the director's cut. I was like, God, I just love this movie. I think it is one of the absolute best Stephen King adaptations. So yeah, I'm glad you're in agreement. I put it in. A couple here we can just shoot right over. There's a Children of the Corn remake from 2020.
Boom.
Absolutely terrible. Firestarter remake from 2022. Absolutely terrible.
But I will say real quick, Firestarter remake has the Carpenter's score that he wanted to put in the initial movie, and that rules. But everything else about the movie is bad.
I'm wearing that fucking shirt, and this movie's garbage. They gave me a ton of these shirts to give away, and nobody wanted them. Mr. Harrigan's Phone, a Netflix movie. Fucking terrible.
So
Has
bad.
the kid from It, and he can talk to a dead Donald Sutherland through an iPhone, and this movie fucking sucks.
So boring.
Nothing good happens. The plot is like he like loves this old man, and the old man's a grumpy old man, and he puts his phone in his pocket right before they bury him, and he's like, "Take your phone, Mr. Harrigan." First of all, the kid's too old. This kid's like 18. This should have been a young boy in the story. And then he calls the phone and talks to him like, "Hey, Dad, Mr. Harrigan, this guy's bullying me, and I'm sad. I wish you were here." And then that bully dies, and he's like, "Mr. Harrigan, did you kill him? Oh my God." And that seems like that could be cool, like a guy comes back from the dead to kill your enemies, but they do it like once or twice in a 2-hour movie, and you don't even see anything, and this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Okay, moving on. The Boogeyman, 2023. A lot of people liked this movie. I'm over trauma core horror. I'm fucking done with it. And this is that to a T. It's a monster that feeds on suffering, so there's like a sad family, and they're just like, my God, something's here, and I'm already sad, and now there's something trying to eat my sadness. I think it was a well-made movie, but I fucking hated it.
So I had a lot more fun with it. I remember you and I, after this screening, were very different on our opinions of it. So I'm not shocked by that. I still don't think it goes in, but I do think Sophie Thatcher is really good in this movie. And so that doesn't surprise me, given where she's at now, where she's consistently giving good performances. And I think that it is well directed. Rob Savage also shot Host.
I think it's well made.
And I think he's very promising outside of dash cam footage movies or found footage that he's been up to.
Right,
But
yeah.
I agree. It still doesn't go in. Yeah, that's basically where I'm at.
Okay. So then the last movie that we've not discussed yet would be Salem's Lot from 2024. Now, they had done a TV adaptation of this way back in the day. HBO Max did an adaptation of it that I was so excited for. It has Lewis Pullman, plays an author, of course, returning to his hometown, and finds out that there's a vampire, and I just found this incredibly dull and not exciting or interesting in the slightest.
Yeah.
So that's not going in.
Yeah, I don't disagree. What's really frustrating about it is that, like, the miniseries from the 70s, directed by Tobe Hooper, obviously has, like, a pretty strong following. That's the one, and every Salem's Lot will have to be judged against that. Just like every It would have to be judged against the 90s version, 70s Salem's Lot rules. This one is not very good.
I just want to point out that Tim looks so sad and bored and is thinking about everything except for what's going on here. You look like you were remembering an embarrassing story from fucking middle school. Just now.
No, first I was making faces as it's like, yes, very good. But then I started hearing shit outside the door, and I was like, oh, is that like my kid or something? And then I was listening to everything. I'm listening to everything you guys are saying. I think you guys are making very good points.
Talking all this, and I just look, and this is Tim.
Because that's me, like, actually, like, paying attention to what Alan's saying. Actually,
You were so slumped. You were out.
I'm sorry. No, I wasn't. I really was listening. Salem's Lot in the 70s and It from the 90s.
Here's the thing.
I'm there.
We've talked about all 51 feature adaptations. So the 4 that are left over are the 4 we've already talked about: The Life of Chuck, The Monkey, The Long Walk, and The Running Man. So real quick, are there any of these that you think are guaranteed in, Alan?
Guaranteed in? No. I think they're yellows across the board.
Okay.
The one that I'm willing to cut immediately is The Running Man and probably The Monkey. But I'm open to hearing arguments to keep them in.
So I'm just going to then put in Life of Chuck and The Long Walk in maybes.
Sure, that works for me.
So that gives us, we have M, Carrie, The Shining, Stand By Me, Misery, Shawshank Redemption, The Mist, and Doctor Sleep. So we have 7 in. Now we have to narrow down to 10 and then rank them. So of our maybes, we have to choose 3. We have Cujo, The Dead Zone, Christine, Dolores Claiborne, The Green Mile, It, The Long Walk, and The Life of Chuck. We have 8 movies that we got to narrow down to 3. I think The Green Mile needs to be in. I know you don't want 3.
I'm okay with what we have left in the yellows with it, Green Mile being in. So I'm fine with
let's just go ahead and do that then. Let's cut
Green
that
Mile
and we have
needs
to
to be
pick
in.
2.
Let's stop playing pretend.
I also will repeat, I think it should be in. Like, even if we put it at 10, I think it is like an entire generation's like re-entry point into King and everything that's come in the last. Like, the reason why 2024 is possible is because of it.
I mean, it's such a this year is so Stephen King with the 4 movies and then the TV series, the prequel to the It and everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I said 2024. I meant 2025, like as the Stephen King year. With
sorry,
all of these movies, it wouldn't happen if it didn't pop the way it did.
yeah.
So that if I concede, which I will, I move it because I don't hate it. I don't. I really don't. Okay, so if I move it up there, that means we have 1 slot. So I was going to come in and fight hard for The Life of Chuck, but I'm also wondering, do we go with a movie brand new from this year, or do we go with one of his kind of fun, kookier classics like Cujo or Christine? Or do we go with Dolores Claiborne, which seems very different from the traditional kind of King?
So
those are the ones I would narrow it down to.
So I'm going to say no to Dolores Claiborne at this point, only because we have a lot of his dramas in here.
No, that's true. I would agree.
Like we have Stand By
And
Me.
Life of Chuck is also a drama.
Yeah, but I think Life of Chuck is something completely different than even Dolores Claiborne. Like, Dolores Claiborne fits in the mold with Green Mile, with Stand By Me, with Shawshank, where
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm good with knocking out the Dead Zone. I like it, but I don't think it's special. Mm-hmm. And I would also be okay with if you had to choose between Cujo and Christine, which would you go with?
I'd go Cujo over those 2.
I would too. I'm glad you said that. Okay, so that gives us The Long Walk, The Life of Chuck, and Cujo. And if I had to choose a movie from this year, I would go The Life of Chuck.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Life of Chuck.
Because
yeah,
I gave The Long Walk 3.5 stars out of 5, and I gave Life of Chuck 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I'm inversed in the I think I'm at like 4 for both, but I think I have the order inversed. But I'm open to Life of Chuck, especially after the rewatch today. I'm definitely feeling more Life of Chuck pilled than I was 24 hours ago.
So we have 1 spot left. The Long Walk was good, Tim. I agree. The Long Walk was good, but you liked it better than Life of Chuck?
Don't you, like you said, like, oh, good job, Tim. You contributed.
No, Tim, you're doing really
You're doing
good.
good. You're doing great. Look at the little guy. He's
to
trying.
be fair, Josh, we have picked 9 out of 10 slots. Do we want to give Tim his choice on this one?
No, it's a thing. We're fine. I like Life of Chuck. I'm just saying. I think it's recently.
Yeah,
you know,
Life of
'cause
Chuck is great.
It was great. It was good. I mean, I just liked what's his performance. I think he should get at least a nomination for playing Petey. I forget his name. Petey.
Oh, David Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah, the black kid. Yeah, he's great.
He's currently on
amazing.
my lead actor ballot for when we vote. I mean, we still have a lot of movies to check out, but right now he's in my 5.
Is he running in lead?
If he's not running in lead, then it's going to be even easier for him. I assume he's running in lead, but if he's not, then it's going to be even more of a cake.
No, he definitely should be. But you know, you always
saying.
run into
Category
like what was the Jesse Eisenberg the Culkin movie last year where they went on the trip together.
Why am
Yeah.
I blanking on this? Oh my god, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He obviously won. He was clearly a lead.
He should have
Yeah.
been an actor,
Like-
and he won in supporting actor. But so you could always have one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, the three of them was what was the third one? Life of Chuck, Long
No,
Walk.
it's now
and-
narrowed down to Cujo and Life of Chuck
Oh, there's Long Walk
to fill the spot. We have
Well,
one
I mean,
spot.
if you don't go, I feel like the diehard Stephen King fans are going to be like, "How the fuck do you leave off Cujo?"
That's a good point.
Because it's such a classic.
Is there something else we wanted to revisit in our other top 10 that we would be willing to lose?
All right, let's go over them one more
Yeah.
time. Carrie, you can't get rid of.
No.
The Shining, you can't get rid of. Stand By Me, you can't get rid of. Misery, you can't get rid of. Shawshank, you can't get rid of. The Mist, you could, but I don't wanna.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I agree. I actually agree with you that I don't want to get
Oh,
rid
man.
of the Mist at all.
And I feel like
Yeah.
Doctor Sleep is probably one that I feel like would be among the most controversial on our list. But again,
Yeah.
I think that is a straight 5 out of 5. I love fucking Doctor Sleep.
The reason why I didn't watch it was because so many people bashed it, and I was like, "Oh, I was going to go see it in theaters," and then they're like, "No, it's not good." And I was like,
You
"Oh,
missed
okay."
out. That movie
No.
is so good.
It was actually just after I watched the Shining back in theaters. Because
should've.
they brought it back.
So-
and I watched that first time in theaters. That was
Then we
awesome.
have, and then after Doctor Sleep is Green Mile and It. So I don't really feel like there's one to get rid of off our list. I feel like we have the 9 we have should stay. So
So then,
Life of Chuck or Cujo, I'd be fine with either. I would be fine with either.
I'm looking at our list. If we include Cujo, it's like one of 4 movies before 1990. And then everything else is post 1990. So it does give us, but Life of Chuck does give us.
There's
like,
been a lot more.
yeah,
A lot
of,
more
like,
adaptations post 1990. The first one was like what 77. Carrie was like 77, 78.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
so-
trying to make sure that we're not too recency biased. Is more my point. But
Right. Oh,
I
yeah,
do
yeah,
think
okay.
between Cujo and Life of Chuck, I think Life of Chuck is the better movie. I think Cujo being our like honorable mention number 11 is a reasonable place to put that movie.
Okay, so let's do
Stamped.
that. I'm good with giving honorable mentions. We just went through a lot. We like a lot of the movies,
Yes.
but okay. So now, real quickly,
you gotta
let's
rank 'em.
do a ranking. Let's just start with what do you think should be number 1? I feel like most people are going to say like either Shawshank or The Shining.
Wait, you're going number 1? You gotta go 10 and down, bro. Come on.
Fine, we'll go 10. We'll go reversed.
Yeah.
If I had to put my weakest, I think It is the weakest.
I would think Life of Chuck is the weakest. But
I'm okay going like.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just happy
I'm
with
fine
that.
with those two being 9, 10. Like, I'm fine with that.
All right, how about It 10, Life of Chuck 9?
Sure, I can live with that.
I snuck my
You gotta snug it in there. Yeah.
preference in there. Okay,
I understand.
those two are down. Up next, I would maybe say Green Mile.
That's actually what I was thinking. I was thinking Green Mile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
As 8? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Green Mile, number 8, 7. Then this is where it starts getting tougher because these are all the ones that I think are like legit, like masterpieces or borderline masterpieces, or these are all actually pretty close to masterpiece. I think.
I think as a movie, I think The Mist is probably number 7.
That's honestly where I was
Yeah.
getting ready to say was The Mist, even though I fucking love that movie. But
I love it, but yeah, I think when we're in this territory, yeah,
that's a
They were
good
gonna
place.
get burned just by having top 10 already, but yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Next. Well, we got to save Doctor Sleep for number 1. No, realistically, I guess it probably might be Doctor Sleep here.
I mean, I think finishing number 6 is pretty good for that movie.
Yeah.
I would agree. Then now we're getting even tougher.
I think
Carrie. I would say Carrie.
See, I'm borderline going to say Carrie's the number one. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to.
Okay. If I had to rank these here, I would say Stand By Me number one, then Misery, then Shawshank, then Shining, then Carrie. That would be the 5.
See, I would go.
Kill me.
I would go Carrie at 1. So if I'm going 5 down, I would go Misery, Stand By Me, Shawshank, Shining, Carrie. And the only reason I'm not putting Shining at number 1...
So we're almost entirely inversed.
Yeah. The only reason I'm not putting Shining at 1 is because he has the issues with Shining. Otherwise, I think it is the best movie on this list.
Okay. Then let's say...
Shawshank is
I'm
incredible.
okay going...
Yeah.
You want to go Misery here?
At 5?
At 5?
Yeah.
I can do Misery at 5.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. All right.
good.
What would be your next pick for 4?
I would go Shawshank next, unfortunately.
That's what I was say. If you go Shawshank, I'm like Shawshank's top 3. Like, what are we doing here, fam? What are we talking about?
I know, but they're all... Listen, they're all so good. And I do put Stand By Me over Shawshank. I do. So I'm good.
I think
I
think that's
do
ultimately
not.
my difference, is that I put Stand By Me over Shawshank, slightly.
Oh, you two disgusting. I put Shawshank over Stand By Me,
So,
and then we could fight
that
to
means-
death with a pencil with the last 3, like in Joker.
We're
you know talk about
probably...
Dark Knight.
Good job, Tim. We're probably at
Fuck you.
Stand By
Fuck
Me
you.
here. Stand By Me and then The Shining and Carrie. Is that where you would want to go?
I think that would be the order I would go in, yeah.
Okay. If I were going to fight you, I would say Stand By Me is my favorite, I think. I mean, it's up there. But no, I'm good with that. I think that that's actually a very fair rating. All right, I'm going to
What
lock
was it
that
again?
in. Let's lock that. Hold on
Too
1
busy
second. Let me type it.
fuming over here.
So it is, we have our top 10 as we have it now, before we lock it in permanently, beginning from 10, working downward. Hold on, let me burp real quick. Number 10.
Fucking frog.
Listen, I've been holding that in while I'm talking. All right. Number 10, It. Number 9, Life of Chuck. Number 8, The Green Mile. Number 7, The Mist. Number 6, Doctor Sleep. Number 5, Misery. Number 4, The Shawshank Redemption. Number 3, Stand By Me. Number 2, The Shining. And number 1, Carrie.
Okay. I am sorry.
People
about that.
were already calling to just yell at us over our top 10. They're already knowing it.
I think that's a good ranking. I would look at that ranking and be like, even if it's not exactly where I would put it, I can be down with that rating.
Oh, I'm sure that people are going to hate us for Shawshank being lower than Carrie.
I
but
hate
I
us.
just think Carrie being like the definitive
It's the original.
like horror movie in his entire filmography,
gotcha.
and it's the one that he actually likes. He doesn't hate it the way that he hates The Shining.
The Shining,
That
yeah.
we are giving deference to that fact.
Yeah.
Shelley
Okay.
Duvall was not tortured in Carrie. This is
No,
true.
she was not. It also launched the
Fair
career of
point.
Sissy Spacek. So, like, it is like
Well,
an
yeah,
across
no.
the board influential like horror movie on top of being the first King and immediately bursting open the doors for everything else.
I'm just excited to see what the people will say about not just ripping us apart, but just I want to hear their top 10 or at least top 5.
Well, that's the thing about him, right? Is that like somebody can put out a completely different top 10, and I would probably agree with it because he's got that many good movies. We were having to get through so many, we had to cut a lot of stuff that I actually really love. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we cut a lot of
Long
stuff
Walk
out.
is a great example, right? Long Walk, I'm already saying is the top 20, 30 movie of the year already, and like we couldn't even give it the time of day. Like that's
Yeah.
nuts.
I like The Long Walk now the more and more I think about it, even though I just saw it today.
Well, like I said, we went through 51 movies, and only like 3 or 4 we brushed over. Like, this was nothing, nobody saw this. So it's like almost 50 movies to really look at and consider and talk about. And
That's not
maybe
counting TV.
1/3 of them.
Yeah, not even
And then
TV.
maybe
Oh, man.
1/3 of them, 1/3 you could just cut out and be like, that's not even in consideration. And the rest is at least worth talking about.
Well, let's do his books. All right, run it back. Let's do all the books, short stories, novellas. all
Girl
of it.
Who Loved Tom Gordon. That's a book that I read and liked and has never been adapted, but I think it will be.
I say there's
He's
a
written
bunch of stuff
so many
that's in there's a bunch of stuff that's in development. I know Molnar's doing another movie, but he's going to direct this one. I know that Flanagan is doing both Dark Tower TV and also doing Carrie TV. So like, there's
he's
a
much more into
lot
TV
of
now.
stuff. Well, yeah, because
He's doing all the Netflix stuff.
yes, and I was going to say his last 3 movies, I believe, are all King adaptations. He's just so rarely doing movies anymore. And even what's it called? Midnight Mass is just straight up Salem's Lot without the branding.
Very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're good. We're locking in this. It, Life of Chuck, Green Mile, The Mist, Doctor, Sleep, Misery, Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, The Shining, Carrie. That's our ranking?
Yep, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right, suck it, everybody. That's the ranking. So let's wrap up. This is our first episode of The Chaser. This is a bonus episode. Me and Tim actually recorded one at a live convention. We did one on Sinners and the Evolution of Vampires in Cinema at the Vampire Convention in Orlando, which is primarily a Vampire Diaries convention. But then we brought it back and sent it to the editor, and he's like, "Where did you guys record? This audio is garbage. We can't use this." Because there's so many echoes and people screaming in the background and everything. So this is now the first episode. The other one's not airing.
Yeah.
But we talked about Sinners, and we both liked it. The Running Man, that's what got us here. I think it's worth going. Go see it in cinemas. Check out The Binge. We are on YouTube. We are wherever you get your podcasts. Alan, where can people find you and your work? Because you are a critic. You're a working Rotten Tomatoes approved film critic.
Yeah, my primary site is Sunshine State Cineplex, but you can also check out my work at Fandom Wire, at In Session Film. I bounce around a couple other places. So yeah, that would be my primary place.
And Tim,
Yes.
shut up. We will catch you guys next week, coming back with our regularly scheduled episode on Tuesdays, and we'll catch you on the Flippity Flop.